Turning 30 is the worst thing that can happen to a woman, or so we have been told. Multiple sitcoms, multiple movies where the plot is essentially a woman going through a crisis because she's 30. You don't know where you are in life, you're feeling lost, you feel like disconnected from who you were in your 20s, who you're supposed to be in your 30s. It's like an expiration date that society has just like stamped on us. You can make your 30s the best decade of your life just with a couple of changes. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Adriana. Today we're gonna go through how to transform your life in your 30s. If you like videos like this, if you like fitness, beauty, lifestyle, 30-year-old things, then you're in the right place. Feel free to subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment. Let's get into it. This is a different time in your life, and comparing yourself to 20-year-old you is very unfair. It's like a big chapter in our lives. I remember turning 30 and feeling overwhelmed. This is supposed to be a major time in my life. I feel like I'm not marking it right. Turning 30 comes with a lot of anxiety. Body changes for the most part, mindset changes, career struggles, and it's like a really awkward point in our lives. But it is the perfect time for a reset. And the first way that you're going to accomplish this is by changing your mindset. It is really hard to find women who are very vocal about being in their 30s. So at some point, you're supposed to just stop talking about your age. Women are told that their 20s are for having fun and having freedom and experiencing life. But in your 30s, you're running out of time and you're meant to settle down. You're going to reframe the way that you think about this. Being 30 comes with a lot of clarity, confidence, and caring less about what others have to say about you. You can step into this energy where you're becoming a woman who has independence, who has freedom. You're more financially stable. Maybe you have your own apartment, your own place to live. It's a whole new opportunity for you to experience life in a different way. You will, however, see yourself maturing a little bit and changing the way that you perceive certain things. There's nothing wrong with embracing change, embracing growing. You can gain so much confidence from reframing the way that you look at your 30s. Instead of thinking, what should I achieve by the time I turn 30? Switch it to, how do I want to feel? What do I want to experience? Again, like this is pressure that society has put onto you and made you think that you have to reach a point by the time that you're 30, which is not the case. There's nobody else in that race. So you can actually step into the energy of who you are and not really care about what anybody else has to say. By you becoming a confident woman, you're also going to be able to set boundaries, which is key for chapter number 2, which is letting go of toxic relationships. Your 20s are for you to say yes to everything. Yes to every hangout. Yes to every party. So-and-so is having a birthday. Let's go. So-and-so is having a housewarming party. Yes, count me in. It's for having a lot of friends. You make friends with your coworkers. You make friends with people you meet at school. You make friends with everybody, people that you meet at the gym. In your 30s is more about quality instead of quantity. Sometimes we don't realize that there are relationships that are draining our energy. This is the time to cut off toxic relationships, toxic friendships, toxic workplaces even. It's a really good time to set boundaries with friends, family, and in the workplace. Instead of pouring so much energy into people who don't reciprocate that to you, put that energy into hobbies. There was this trend going around recently, show your hobbies. For a lot of women, the trend was that they enjoyed shopping. And although there is nothing wrong with shopping and shopping can be a hobby, there are many other hobbies that don't require you, one, spending your hard-earned money, and two, can actually increase your creativity and bring you really good things and positive things to your life. Journaling, coloring is such a great example of exploring your creativity and allowing yourself to focus on something that is not your phone for a couple of hours. Reading is another hobby, and it doesn't have to be self-help books. It doesn't have to be something educational. It can be fantasy books. Fantasy books allow you to enter a different reality. It allows you to put yourself in the shoes of other characters so that you can experience life through other eyes. You can also do crochet. You can learn to knit, do puzzles. You can learn to play an instrument. You can start a garden. You can start a garden in your apartment. Take up gaming. Finding women's groups where you can discuss books, you can discuss movies is so important so that you can form community with people who are going through very similar situations like yours so that you can see you're not alone. These are hobbies that can allow you to step outside of your comfort zone so that you can explore that creativity. So take your time to do a relationship audit. How do I feel in this relationship? Do I feel drained? Do I feel secure? Do I feel comfortable talking to this person about my problems? It's not just your partner, your friendships, but also your workplace. How can you set some clear boundaries? No, I'm not going to work on Saturdays if I'm not scheduled. No, I am not going to answer emails if I'm not scheduled to be at work. Of course, communicating and improving those communication skills really step into that energy of I am the woman that voices out her concerns with the purpose of driving change so that either we move forward together or maybe this is where we part ways. A lot of the times you might lose touch with a friend and you start growing apart. In your 20s, maybe with your friends, you were able to go hang out, stay at the club until 4 in the morning, and wake up at 9 a.m. the next day and actually go and work. And don't get me wrong, some people will get to their 30s and be able to continue doing that. And that's why I said at some point your paths may go separate ways. Because if somebody is still in this mindset where that's the activity that they prefer, and you're in a place where you're trying to change and you're trying to evolve and you're trying to grow, you will lose touch with some friends that might just be taking a little bit longer to change. This brings us into chapter 3, which is fitness and healthy habits. This is a reality check for you. Your 30s are for you to build muscle, work on your mobility, and learn to move your body in a healthy way. You're going to notice metabolism changes. You're going to notice changes in your body and in the way that your body responds to things. And this time is so important to train for health, longevity, muscle health, bone health. And it's the time for you to build a good routine that you'll be able to keep for the years to come. Lifting weights is super important, especially as women. As we go into our 40s, we start to lose muscle. You need to work on building that foundation right now so that you can set yourself up for success in the future. So that mindset of I'm working out that I can change the way that I look, reframe that. Your hormones are different. Your life is different. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you have a full-time job that you didn't have when you were 20. So now you have to adjust to that routine and build a life around that. So learning to see exercise for what it is very important. Instead of thinking that you have to do cardio so that you can burn calories and lose weight, think of doing cardio to train your heart to resist hard things. The focus in your 30s isn't just the aesthetics and how am I going to look, and instead should be more of a health conscious effort, stretching constantly, walking, drinking enough water, eating foods that are good for you and nutritious, while maintaining a good balance so that you can continue living your life. Nothing has to be extreme, it just has to be consistent. Focus on becoming strong, independent, healthy, and mobile. So let go of those clothes that you used to wear when you were 20 and you're hoping that you can still fit into them because you're no longer 20. You're no longer the person that you were back then. So many factors that change in your life and you're still trying to stay in the body that you had when you were 20. Realistically, you're holding yourself back from becoming the healthiest version of yourself, from growing and embracing a new era of your life. Things are different and there's nothing wrong with it. Even our skin changes, which brings us into chapter number 4, skincare and beauty. The skincare routine that you were doing in your 20s is not going to cut it anymore because let's face it, in your 20s, you can get away with not washing your face after a full day of work. Maybe you sleep with mascara on and you don't think that there's anything wrong. You wake up the next day and you're like, it's okay. In your 30s, you don't want to do that. You want to make sure that you preserve that skin health as much as possible. Your eye health is just as important. So take out your contacts before you go to bed. Wash your face. Take off your mascara. Your eyes will thank you. You won't wake up with irritated eyes. Maybe you were just using a face wash and maybe a moisturizer. Even though that can still work for a lot of people, if you want to preserve the skin health that you currently have and you want to improve and transform your skin in your 30s, the most important part is hydration and sun protection. So instead of thinking super harsh face wash and a random moisturizer, you're going to look for things that are going to maintain your skin barrier, that are going to protect your skin from the sun, and they're going to hydrate it to maintain it plump and healthy and having that healthy glow. So focus on SPF, antioxidants like vitamin C, and if you want to include retinol so that you can start preventing wrinkles, you absolutely can do that. You just have to be a little bit more careful of when you step into the sun. Also, you cannot get waxed while you are on retinols. So something to think about. If you want to start a retinol treatment, you have to be a little bit more gentle with your skin. Change the approach that you have to skincare. Think about it as an investment. You're not going to spend your 30s trying to cover up your skin. In fact, when we're talking about beauty, you want to focus on enhancing your natural beauty, enhancing those features that you have that you really like. So avoid falling into a rut or a routine that doesn't fit your vibe anymore. Makeup trends change and there's always a new one coming up, but you can always play around with them so that you can find something new that might be working. And it's super easy. You have a makeup bag of products that you have been using for a really long time, and you can continue using those. You can use a different technique to achieve different results. Try a different way to do your eyeliner. Trying something different can help. If you're using pencil for your eyebrows right now, why not try a little eyeshadow moment? Why not try doing a little wing liner with eyeshadow instead of a harsh eyeliner? That can make a world's difference. Trying a different blush placement. I know that the blush placement changed the way that I look at my face nowadays. Don't be scared to play around with new makeup trends. Just because you've been very used to your routine doesn't mean that you cannot try new things. And maybe you'll find a new way to do your makeup that enhances your current features rather than you trying to hide them. In your 30s, you don't want to cover up. You want to embrace who you are naturally. You want to embrace the attitude of, I really don't care what anybody else has to say, because it's going to be liberating. It's going to free you from thinking about what everybody else is saying about you so that you can focus on you. Nobody else should have a say in what you do as long as you're not hurting anyone, girl. Like, embrace yourself. Stop trying to cover up and hide behind somebody that you're not. Maybe you don't like the way that you dress right now. Many women feel stuck in their wardrobe after college. Like, there's like this very awkward period of time. Do I dress like I'm 20? Do I dress like I'm 30? You know, like, I don't want to give like old lady. I don't want to give, I'm trying so hard to stay young. There's a line between this is my style versus I just want to continue looking younger. I don't want anybody to know that I'm 30. And that's the energy that you're staying away from. Your 30s are the perfect time for you to learn to express yourself through creativity. Use this time to redefine your style. Go on Pinterest and look for outfit inspiration. And as you're looking through them in the moment, just feel, allow yourself to feel. I want you to look at the pictures, and if you feel, I really like that, pin it. Create a mood board where you're saving outfit inspirations without the opinion of the outside world. This is just you and Pinterest. And if you see something and you're like, oh, that looks cute, that is like a spark of the moment feeling that doesn't have any outside motivation. And I know you're gonna say, well, I don't have the body that I want right now so that I can pull off that. Fashion doesn't have a size. You can dress the way that you want at any size. You're letting go of what everybody else thinks about you. You're stepping into that energy of I am in control. Once you have a Pinterest board, go through it, see what pieces really call to you, see what's your style, see if there's a trending subject. I'm gonna give you an example. I really like Doc Martens. I always have. I love the Doc Martens sandals. Always like those chunky sandals, and I never really allowed myself to wear them because my mom would say that they made my feet look very big. And it stuck with me my whole life. And it wasn't until 2 years ago that I bought a pair of really chunky sandals, and I love them. I've been wearing them nonstop for 2 summers, and now bought a ton of pairs of Doc Marten sandals because that's what I wanted to buy in the first place. Sometimes you just see something and you're like, I really like that. And somebody tells you, that's not going to look good on you. So you let go of that idea. Stop letting that happen. Nobody else has control over how you dress. Embrace that style without anybody else's approval. Once you have a theme, go thrift shopping. Find some staples for your closet that you're going to build around. Get the classics, get the basics, and then you can work on accessorizing. Instead of focusing on getting outfits as a whole, get the basics and pieces that you'll be able to mix and match to get the vibe that you like. Maybe you like old academia vibes. Nothing wrong with that. Do you like a more punk rock type of vibe? Nothing wrong with that. Step into that energy. Dress for yourself. Let this be the time that you stop dressing for everybody else's approval. Your style is not meant to stay in a box, and it's meant to evolve with you. Rebuild that relationship that you have with yourself. That's the most important part to nurture. Do you pour into your own cup? Do you do things for you to be the woman that you want to be? And it's time for you to let go of trying to please everybody else. So when it comes to your life, you are in control. So reframe your mindset. Instead of looking at this as something dreadful that is happening to you, which is turning 30, it's just you having a birthday. But it can mean something, and you can really change that relationship with yourself through self-reflection, self-work, and diving into you, letting go of toxic people and toxic relationships, learning to set boundaries, really stepping into that confidence, learning to step into what type of woman do I want to be? Do I want to enter a room and have my presence be respected? The woman that you want to be might work out consistently, and they eat healthy foods overall. They drink a lot of water. They drink tea every single day. They do their hair. They do their makeup. They take care of their skin. And you don't have to spend a ton of money to achieve these things. The majority of this comes from a mindset perspective, and it comes from mindset changes that you're going to make. So you don't have to buy a whole new closet. Go through Pinterest to see what you like, pin what you like, and then go through your closet and see if there's anything that you want to keep that aligns with what you truly like to wear. And let go of all of those things that you did in your 20s and that idea that you want to stay in your 20s. You're not that person anymore. Allow yourself to evolve. Allow yourself to change. I know that society has told you that that's wrong, that you shouldn't embrace being 30 because time is running out and you're running out of time and you should be settling down. Why? If you implement even just a couple of these into your life, you will feel lighter, you will feel free, and you will feel more confident that you did. Your 30s are not something to fear. They're a decade where you can really step into becoming the person that you actually are. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this video, leave me a like, subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. You can also turn on your notifications and leave me a comment letting me know if this video helped you in any way. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.